Hi. Oh, my goodness, I'm live. I'm so live. Can you believe it? How live am I? You tell me. You tell me. I'm going to look at some feeds. There are exactly 100 items in my feed. That never happens. Three of the oldest stars in the universe found circling the Milky Way. World's first AI auto race demonstrates the technology. Oh, it's boing boing. That's funny. Netflix got the NFL. Can you believe it? On Christmas? Yes, on Christmas. They will be broadcasting or streaming the Christmas games. The free ride is over for self-driving cars, says The Verge. Those days are done. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has opened investigations into all the major companies, not because they are, expanding their tests and therefore, having more issues that need to be investigated by a responsible regulator, but because mad. I don't know, this tone of this stuff bugs me these days. Like, yeah, no, that's what happens when you have a nascent industry that's properly regulated. You get investigations. Some of them find stuff, which is good. That's the system working. Morning, BioCow. Hola, Selvin. BioCow, you remind me. I always forget to turn that on. I should just have it plugged in. I could just plug it into the same power strip that does the rest of the lights, couldn't I? Couldn't I? I have a timer. I just realized that I'm like, why am I... I'm a silly man sometimes. Xbox Cloud Gaming now supports mouse and keyboard input. All right, I don't think there's anything we have to blow up the rundown for. I'll have to move it later. It's a bit of a rat's nest. Cables, where'd it go? I shall do it later. Yes. What else is going on? All right. I did that. I prepped the sword and laser lineup without you. I'm so sorry. But I already did it. Oh, the writing. Is it on the wall? No, it's in Google Drive. Hey, so how many of you knew that I have been serializing a novel through my Free Tom newsletter? Not Free Tech newsletter. I have two. Free Tech newsletter is tech, of course. Free Tom newsletter is personal. But through that, I've been serializing a novel called Hungry Earth. It looks red in real life. It's my camera that's doing that. I don't know why it's looking orange these days. The Manahato River Press offices were in a huge building called 55 Center Place in central Manahato. It was only a couple train stops away, but it was an entirely different world. Business people in their various shades of tan suits bustled about carrying briefcases. The lobby of 55 Center Place was an immense open area filled with dirt red marble. People flooded to the elevators. Jasper wasn't sure exactly where he was going, and he assumed as a visitor he should check in, so he went up to someone at the large reception desk. Hoping they knew a little Latin, he said, "I have an appointment with Manahato River Press." The woman furrowed her brow, repeated the name Manahato River Press, then said something in Haudenosaunee. See, the premise of this book is that Jasper here is from our world, but has been transferred to an alternate Earth. Jasper had picked up a few words in Haudenosaunee, but she didn't use any of those words. So he said sorry in Haudenosaunee and smiled, then said, "Check, please," which was one of the phrases he picked up at the restaurant. Thankfully, the woman laughed. She pursed her lips and said, "Manahato River Press" again, then held up a finger. She pulled out a piece of paper which looked like a directory of offices. She circled a number and pointed at a word in Haudenosaunee and said, "Manahato River Press." Jasper nodded and said, "Deccan." The woman's face brightened, and she held up the finger again and picked up a phone receiver. After a quick exchange of words, she hung up and turned back to Jasper. She said a lot of things in Haudenosaunee, but he heard Deccan's name again, and she pointed to the circled number on the sheet and pointed at the elevator. Jasper smiled and nodded and said thank you. She said, "You're welcome," and he made his way to the elevator. See? Even in an alternate world, when you don't know the language, you can get to your appointment at a publisher. That's good sci-fi, right? I will not go on. Okay, all right. The Bitwarden password manager requires new permissions. You must approve new permissions before the updated version will install. Access browser activity. Well, yeah, that's fine. It can have that. Okay. There you go. All right. By reading that novel, I lost one viewer. As of yesterday, you haven't driven enough sales to see specific shipped revenue data in this report. Well, thanks. Well, thanks a lot. Whatever. My God. All right. It's just one of those mornings, isn't it? You know? I guess it's post-Google I.O. depression. But, I mean, there's news. We're not short on things for the show, but yeah, everything just feels a little less excited. A little more mellow. Mellow? Mellow. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look, I gained another viewer since I stopped reading my book. Oh, BioCow, is that you? That's funny. Turn them all off mute so that I can be a chorus and I'll sing. I've got picked up a bunch of my Uncle Harold's old stuff out of the storage unit I cleaned out this weekend, including his Bronze Star certificate and his Purple Heart certificate. I think someone else has the actual medals, but I have the certificates. We didn't find the medals anyway, so I'm hoping someone has them. And couple of my Grandma Roxy's diaries from 81 and 82. Yeah, I guess it could apply for replacement metals, but just would, I kind of just want the originals for the sentimental value. Getting the replacements is not necessary. It wouldn't be as sentimental, you know what I'm saying? I have my Grandma Roxy's belated birth certificate. So this is interesting. She was born in 1901. Apparently never had a birth certificate. So in 1944, she got a birth certificate. And that was the birth certificate. It's like, belated birth certificate. It's all signed, but it was issued in 1944. Isn't that crazy? Hello, Adam 12. It is crazy how old my relatives are. My grandma was born in 1901. Her husband, my grandpa, was born in 1882. And my grandpa's mother was born in 1839. So my great-grandma was born in 1839. Isn't that crazy? The birth certificate was issued in 44 for a birth date of 1901. It didn't make her 1 year old in 1945. That's funny. At least she could be a lot younger. Why, I'm only 2 years old. Look at my birth certificate. Didn't it though? My grandma was a busy person. Okay, so she was born in 1901. So in 81, she would have been 80, right? Her diary, even though she's 80 years old, right, is all about like jumping in the car and going over to Lorna's house and running down to Carlisle to get lunch on her own and buying a dress. And like, man, I hope I have her genes, because there was no slowing down for that lady. She was living on her own too. The whole 81 diary is her moving out of the house. She'd been living in alone for 3 years since my step-grandfather. So my original grandfather died in the 50s, and my grandpa Doug that she remarried died in 79. So she'd been, I guess, 2 years. So she was moving into a smaller place, moving into an apartment. She was just active. She spent half the year basically from after Christmas until like March every year she would spend in Arizona, because her daughter, my aunt, lived there. She would just go spend a quarter of the year in Arizona, stay away from the cold winter. Helped with her arthritis and all that. Impressive stuff. Family history, ain't it though? What kind of cord killer stuff do I have to do? What kind of cord killer stories do we have? I don't have to make... Ooh, we have a lot. Oh, yeah, because we had all the upfronts. That's right. So we have Netflix getting the NFL Christmas Day games. A Harry Potter competition series called Wizards of Baking has been ordered by the Food Network. Will feature original film sets. They still have the original film sets kicking around. Dune Prophecy trailer for the prequel series on Max. First look at Last of Us Season 2. House of the Dragon trailer. Release dates for Agatha All Along and Daredevil Born Again. Only Murders in the Building premiere date. When is that Only Murders Season 4 premiere date? August 27th. Seems like it gets a little later in the summer every year. Rick and Morty, the anime footage. Mortal Kombat 2 date. Yellow Jackets started filming Season 3. Tomb Raider show coming to Prime Video. Of course, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power trailer. Boys renewed for season 5. Mr. and Mrs. Smith renewed. And then that Comcast bundle. Yeah. All right. We're going to have I mean, if no other news breaks, we'll have a full Cord Killers out of that. Let me confirm this, Cliff Singer. Where's this? Agatha Darkhold Diaries. Yeah, the headline said Agatha all along. Agatha Darkhold Diaries will star Aubrey Plaza as Rio, Joe Locke, Patty Lupone as Lilia, Sashir Zamata as Jen K, and Ali An as Alex. Yeah, I can't tell from this story what it's actually going to be called, honestly. Agatha all along confirmed. No, it's going to be called Agatha all along. The series was first announced as Agatha House of Harkness, renamed to Agatha Coven of Chaos, and was retitled in September to Darkhold Diaries. In May 2024, Marvel Studios released a new logo on Twitter with the title Agatha the Lying Witch with Great Wardrobe, but took down the post soon after. German Lucier at Gizmodo thought this may have been a joke or a mistake, noted the reference to C.S. Lewis. Disney announced in its upfront presentation that the official title is Agatha All Along, and released a video showing that the changing titles were orchestrated by Harkness as a way of messing with Marvel fans. So it was a bit. It was a bit. Yeah, ripping up Darknet Diaries, exactly. Cute bit. Yeah, sort of ish. House of Dragons. I'm not gonna lie. House of the Dragons trailer kind of bored me, whereas the series did not. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power trailer kind of got me excited, whereas the series had not. So I'm having reverse reactions to trailers in this particular thing. Yeah, what's this Rick and Morty anime spinoff? Adult Swim animated series just debuted the first ever footage and plot details from Rick and Morty, the anime, which will debut with 10 episodes on Adult Swim and Max, quote unquote, sometime this year. They wrote HBO Max in this Variety article. Does this mean this story is from the past? Rick and Morty the anime will show Rick relaxing in a pseudo-world between multiverses. Summer helping Space Beth fight the Galactic Federation, and Morty falls in love with a mysterious girl who happens to be an atemporal being. So more of the same for the Sanchez family. I just thought Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power took too long to tell its story. It was very, very wandering and not in a good way for me. but I liked lots of it. And so maybe that's why I like the trailer so much. His trailer is very compressed, like just showing me the parts I like. Hello, Manchester. Hello from Los Angeles. Brian Brushwood's calling me, so I'm going to mute myself. All right, what did I say? I have been called T-Mare, but not very many times. Maybe once. Maybe twice. Now 3 times. Does that make me a lady? J-Rom, what did I say? J-Rom 20? Could you read my lips? No new taxes. No, that was actually Brian asking like, hey, what was the last time you got a Cord Killer money email? And I said February 11th. And he's like, oh, good. I couldn't find that one. Thanks. That helps. Bye. Which means I'm about to get paid. Something about covering something up and hiding something, a body. No, I would never cover it up. I wish I had more for you. The DTNS lineup was all kind of done by the time, because it's Sarah's day. Maybe this is why I don't live stream on Wednesdays as much. Oh, I should see if Mitsula got back to me. Maybe about the instrument coming off the record. Yeah, appears to have a purpose. All right. It's not exactly a slow day CR poll. Just I don't know. Things fell into place. I did see a nice new Sony phone came out. Those Sonys, they make the nice phones. I also saw they got a nice new revenue report from the image sensors they make, which are the things that always save them when the rest of their business disappoints them, like a son. Oh yeah, reporters get all kinds of swag at these events. WWDC, Google I/O, etc. I have never gotten any of it. The only time I got swag was at an Intel event at CES in 2001. And I turned it down. Everybody else took it. But I was like, no, thank you. Hi, Eva. Ava or Eva, but high in any of those cases. Yeah, the swag is always like just low enough value not to compromise people. But yeah, it should be disclosed. I agree with you. Eva. Is that the first one? I think that was the first one. Thank you. So yeah, went through the Cord Killers. That's in good shape. Sword and Laser tonight. I already did that one earlier. 3 E's, like E3. Got it. Yeah, I got Sword and Laser later today. If you're a science fiction fantasy fan, check that out. We'll be live streaming it in our Discord, the Sword and Laser Discord. Hey, Wabbit Magic. Wabbit Magic showed up. That makes me feel like I have to do this now. Did you see this that he made? It's a very tiny working arcade machine. Those scan lines, man. Check that out. That's kind of impressive. So I'm on Twitch. I know I'm also on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. So can I output from the USB to a screen and then stream this on Twitch potentially? I can find intel and sell it to allow the hack further. Once I have what I need, I can take them down for good. Let's go to the commercial district. Let's get to the shops. I need some upgrades. This guy's getting mad at me. You have been captured. Ah, man. I wasn't paying attention to what I'm doing. All right. Oh, well. We'll do more of that later. It's fun times. Where? Oh, it was here. Hi, Drenched Wildfire. I'm going to go do our production meeting now. Thanks. Good to see everybody. Glad everybody made it in. Hope you'll stick around in an hour for Daily Tech News Show. Hey, Squishy. Just in time for me to say goodbye, but good to see you. All right. Bye, everybody. See you.